People used to get bullied for freckles. Now, people are paying tattoo artists to put freckles on their face. And that's not even the weirdest beauty trend of 2026. People are tattooing freckles, tattooing lipstick onto their lips, tattooing eyebrows, eyeliner, and even tan lines. This isn't a dystopian movie. This is social media. And honestly, the weirdest part isn't the tattoos. It's how fast beauty standards keep changing. Let's start with freckles. One of the biggest beauty trends online right now is freckle tattoos. People are paying to have tiny dots tattooed across their nose and cheeks to create a natural sun-kissed look. But here's the irony. For years, freckles weren't considered desirable. People covered them with makeup, products were sold to remove them. Some people even got treatments to fade them. And if you actually grew up with freckles, there's a good chance you got made fun of for them. People were told their skin looked dirty, they were asked if someone drew dots on their face, they were treated like they had something to hide. Now those same freckles are being marketed as cute, unique, and desirable. The feature didn't change, society did. And that's when you realize this isn't really about freckles. It's a pattern. Think about eyebrows. For years, thin eyebrows were the goal. People plucked them until there was barely anything left. Then, thick brows became trendy. Suddenly, everyone was buying pencils, growth serums, and booking microblading appointments, trying to get back what the last trend convinced them to remove.
Or look at body trends. One decade, you're told to be as skinny as possible. The next decade, curves are celebrated. Then suddenly, the trend shifts again. The target keeps moving, and somehow we're always expected to keep up. Beauty standards have always changed, but social media poured gasoline on the process. Before the internet, trends spread through magazines, television, celebrities. That could take years. Now, one viral video can convince millions of people they need a feature they didn't even think about last week. One influencer posts freckles. Another posts tan line tattoos. And suddenly everyone is wondering if they're missing something. Not because they wanted it, but because everyone else seems to want it. And that's where things get weird. Because these aren't temporary trends anymore. These are permanent procedures. A hairstyle grows out. A makeup trend washes off. But a tattoo doesn't know when the algorithm changes its mind. Imagine explaining to someone 10 years from now that people were getting permanent tan lines because social media thought it looked aesthetic. And that's why this whole cycle fascinates me. First, a feature is considered unattractive. Then someone rebrands it. Then everyone wants it. Then the trend moves on. And the people left behind are the ones who made permanent decisions chasing temporary approval. What's crazy is that the people who naturally had those features often spent years wishing they didn't. Then one day, the internet decides those exact same features are beautiful. Not because they changed, because the trend changed.
Then one day, the internet decides those exact same features are beautiful. Not because they changed, because the trend changed. Imagine spending years wishing you looked different. Imagine covering up a feature every single day, trying to hide it, trying to become what everyone else said was beautiful. Then one day you open your phone and discover that the thing you were insecure about is suddenly the thing everyone wants. The thing that got you teased. The thing you spent years trying to get rid of. Now it's a trend, and it's beautiful. And you realize something. The feature was never the problem. It was the opinion. Because next year, it'll probably change again. A different insecurity will be sold, and a different solution will be marketed. So maybe the lesson here isn't to chase every beauty trend and remember that beauty standards are some of the most unreliable opinions on Earth. Because if history has taught us anything, today's flaw could be next year's must-have feature. What's something you got made fun of for growing up that suddenly became trendy later?